Hello and welcome to another That's Not a Tutorial. My name is JK, an artist from Sydney, Australia. If this is your very first time on the channel, welcome. Come on in, make yourself at home. If this is your very first time, consider subscribing. If you don't want to, that's also fine. You can still watch the video. Today's one's going to be a little bit longer than normal. We are going to design a character from scratch as if we were sending it to a client. There's going to be 3 different poses that we will do, and yes, we will send it to our fake client and hopefully we'll get lots of fake money. Now, a couple of apologies before this video starts. I know you're used to absolute professionalism from these, but slight camera issues at the start of the video because I'm using substandard equipment. We fixed those, and also, unfortunately, I have children who make a bit of noise. I am thinking about putting them up for adoption, but until then, there might be a few screams in the background, but please be assured that they're well looked after. Other than that, though, enjoy the video.
Okay, so let's do this. This video could be a little bit longer than normal because we are going to hopefully create here a character sheet for a made-up client. So the client has come to us and said, I want a panda, it's a young panda, and it's going to be in a story. The panda is a fan of karate, ninjas, fighting. He wants to be a ninja. I know what you're thinking. I've heard of this story before, it's Kung Fu Panda. Well, sort of. Anyway, this is just a made-up client. So what I would do first of all is, I always say to the client, all right, give me the characteristics of the character so we know it's a panda. Okay? Tick. This panda is young. It's a young panda. Okay? Tick. Then I say, okay, what's this panda's characteristics? Is this panda feisty? Is this panda precautious? Is this panda outgoing? So this panda is slightly angry. Slash, let's say, bold and outgoing. Okay? Right, that says outgoing. Don't worry, I can read it. You don't need to. Now we know this panda likes, say, karate, fancies himself as a bit of a ninja. Okay? Perfect. That's all I need to get myself going on a character. Okay? So, I've already got some reference image ready to go. Now, let's go image, import. Now, I've got a panda here, but I'm going to just get these up first because I know it's a panda, and I know that's what we're looking for. But at the moment, I don't want to just draw a character standing in just a generic pose like this, because it's a bit boring. You can do that, but excuse me for my sniffing. Constantly sick children. So you don't want, just what they call the T-pose. It's a little bit boring. So we know that this character is a ninja. He's a panda. He fancies himself as a bit of a fighter. So all I did was Google reference images of... what did I Google reference images of? I can't even remember. It was something like ninja poses or something. And I saw this and I thought, that looks good. And I'm going to use this as a reference to put our character into these particular poses, all right? So let's make a start. So I'm just using a 4500 by 5500 canvas. I've knocked this out the way, haven't I? Let's fix this up before we keep going. There we go. Apologies for that. All right. So got my references of ninja style poses, so we can start sketching out some ideas for our panda. So we know it's a young panda, so let's just make a start, shall we? Let's go red pen or pencil. I'm going to use my sketching pencil Peppermint, and we're just going to start sketching out some ideas. So start with the head. This is how I would generally go for a head. A circle, obviously. There you go. Head done. No, not quite. Let's look at this pose. We're going to draw this pose to start with. So this character's sort of looking off to that direction. It's handy here. They've given you the construction lines here already, so we can sort of kind of follow that same similar vein. So let's put a line down like that and across. Now I'm going to put another line here. This kind of gives me a sort of mark where my eyes are. That's not a 95-year-old coughing in the background. That is my 9-month-old son. So if you can hear that. All right. So now how I draw the face is going to be a young panda. I'm going to make him a little bit chubby because that's cute. So what I would do is from this marking here and this marking here gives me the starting point of where my sort of jaw or the side of the face is going to start from, and I'm just going to come down like this, straight lines like this, and then they're just going to slightly come out, and then I want it nice and close to this, not on this line, but just close to this line. That's just giving me a reference like that. There we go. So there is the bottom of my face there. These marks here, as I said, is where my eyes are going to go. Now pandas have got the big black colour around their eyes. So I'm just going to put in these big circles at the moment just as a reference to where my eyes are going to go. Let's chuck in a nose as well, just a little placeholder here, like that. Okay, he's going to have, there's some little ears up here. Let's chuck in some little cute panda ears, like that. Now let's work on this body and the positioning of this body. Okay. So, now my panda's not going to have, like this character does, like a neck, because that looks weird for a panda. So mine's literally just the body's going to come straight off from the underneath here. And see how this body is sort of facing that way. So we're going to make sure our body does the same. Now, if you've seen my video about the bean, I'm using the bean here to build this part of the body. So there's a sort of bean shape, and it's angling around that way because it's the way the body's going, and then the legs are going to come off from here. Okay, so let's give him a little bit of a bit of a belly, like that. Okay, now I'll chuck in the legs here. So again, this is an actual person, so he's got knees, and you can see this, you know, the shape of the shin and stuff like that, whereas my panda's not really, going to be a little bit more rounded as a character, so the legs are going to flow from around where the back is, and then I'm going to chuck in this bit here, and then the foot is going to come into there, and let's just round this off. And some background noise supplied by my children, and let's chuck in this other leg, like that. And then we'll just trying to emulate this pose that's going on here. So let's chuck in a little, these are placeholders at the moment, we don't want too much detail. I'm just chucking in where these bits are going. He'll have one paw/hand coming up here, like so. I swear to God, if you can hear all the noises that are coming from the lounge room near me, it would sound like we are the epicenter of the coronavirus in this house. I'd like to just inform everyone, there is no coronavirus in this house. We have been tested. Alright, so there's our basic shape so far of our little panda ninja that he's going to be, hanging off of here. I won't go into much detail of what he's hanging off. I'll do something similar as to what they've got there, because again, this is just a little character sheet. So your client can see their character idea coming to life in poses that they might be in the story that they've given you. Why does this keep moving? Sorry about that. I will eventually, at some point, invest in a better way of having my recording device at the top situated. Alright, so this is this hand over here. So actually the thumb's on this side. Is it? Yeah, that's the hand. So we actually need to chuck in our thumb here, holding on there. Okay, like so. And I'm just going to have maybe one little finger pop up like that. You've seen my recent tutorial on drawing hands. You'll know that I don't like to just do flat sort of hands. I like to give it a little bit of interest there. So that's one, his hand holding. That might need to come down a bit. Actually, the ledge might need to come down. And anyway, we're not worrying about that right now. Let's not get caught up in the finicky things. So panda, so let's get his eyes in here. All right, and let's just put in this is not going to be, there's not going to be sort of no real facial expression in this particular pose, because he's just hanging. He's a ninja, so let's give him a little headband to reference, some sort of karate slash ninja-esque. I mean, you could, if you want, put him in like a full ninja kind of outfit, but for me, I want to see, I love the colouring of pandas and stuff like that, so I wouldn't mess too much with putting him in clothing. I'm just going to maybe give him a little belt as well, with a little tied on bit there. We'll deal with that in a second. Let's chuck in the headband sort of tied up part here. All the technical names now coming out. I'm going to have to keep an eye on my camera because it keeps moving. Alright, so here we go. Very basic here. Let's thumb would be down this side, so let's chuck in a thumb. Let's get in some little fingers here. There. Alright, so there we go. Very basic at the moment. Little panda. He's obviously not coloured yet, so can't really see he's a panda. But you will once he's got the colour on him and stuff. Alright, so there's our first pose for our ninja panda. Alright, so we've got a sort of idea of a character down. Now, you might want to try different sort of character ideas. I mean, it's very unusual that I would draw a character and the first one I get I like, but I'm liking this. So that's handy. So, you know what? Let's give him... Ninjas have swords, but he's a panda, so instead of swords, maybe let's give him some bamboo sticks. So usually sort of, I suppose ninjas would have like crossed over swords. So instead of crossed over swords, we'll have crossed over bamboo. We can't see the bamboo over here, but we could probably see it if it was coming. Probably the bottom bit would come down around here somewhere. So let's just give a hint of bamboo down there. And this one would be sort of coming behind there, so we wouldn't see that. We'll just have that hint there. So there we go. There's our... That was a silly line. There's first pose of our panda. We'll ink and colour these in a second. We'll see how we go time-wise. Let's just get one in there, like so. Let's do a new pose, same character. All right, so let's get a different... I love this pose here, because what we can do is these bamboo sticks can be in the place of these swords here, can't they? Alright, so let's look at this pose. Now we've got to look at the character we've created, and we've got to try and, make sure we emulate that with what we do in our next pose, so they all look the same. So again, let's start with our head shape. Just about redrawing now what we've just drawn. So this is pretty much a straight on sort of look with the head. So let's just chuck in our lines there. Again, from these sides, come down nice and close to the bottom there. Make sure they come out a little bit there for the cheek. And down and around, okay, like that. Let's chuck in our eyes. Those big circles. Let's chuck in our nose. But this time, maybe we'll give him a bit more of an expression with his mouth, because he's sort of like ready for action. So let's just... go up with these like that. So, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna come and get you. I'm gonna destroy you. I'm gonna eat you for breakfast. Alright, angry panda. And let's change his eye expression too to be a bit more, serious eye expression from our panda. Okay, let's, you obviously get a lot of expression out of the eyes and the mouth. That's where where it all comes from. So make sure you practice looking at different expressions. Now I need to you want to obviously put in the same stuff as you have in your original idea. So we still need this headband and the bit around the waist. So let's chuck in the headband first before we put in the ears, actually, so that it doesn't look weird. So let's get that headband there. Little ears over here. Keep going back to our original drawing just to make sure, everything's looking similar. Okay, now we want this pose. So obviously this is a female character, so we've got the chest of here, the breasts of the woman. Our panda does not have breasts, but we need to have some form of a little bit of chest here to help us. And then let's maybe chuck in a little bit of another ring around here for more of the belly area. And then let's get our legs in. Now his legs aren't going to be sort of long and skinny like this. Our panda legs are quite chunky. So again, this is slipping. It's absolute pain in the ass. But we will continue on because we've already recorded for 15 minutes. We don't want to start again. Okay, so let's follow the same look of this person. Now, don't get too. See, the thing with I think with most people is you get so panicked with looking at the detail and thinking, oh my god, how am I ever going to recreate this? Break it down. So I'm thinking, okay, so his leg is not like this with the knee and all the, the calf muscle and everything like that. It's just a nice simple shape like this. And then I can chuck in his foot, which like that. All right, so it's a lot more simple. There's obviously drawing humans, trying to be anatomically correct is a lot harder than cartoons, really, because you don't have to be as sort of crazy anatomically correct, as long as it's got the sort of look, so it doesn't look off. And we want to make sure because that leg would have a little bit of a bend in there. Now we want a straight leg coming off of here. His legs aren't going to be as long as that leg there. So let's just chuck in this shape at the moment. And then we can get more of a foot shape coming in a second. This is purely just getting this pose in place. Right, then the arms are sort of coming back like this. So we wouldn't really see much here. I think we're back. Sorry about that. My camera, for some reason, what holds my camera up here seems to be busted. So I've had to do a quick repair on it. And hopefully now it won't move and we can get on with things. Okay, so where were we? Now, putting in our arms here. Let's chuck them in like this. Let's get this shape going. It's the most, I think everyone's used to the world's most unprofessional how to draw cartoons YouTube channel. There's moving cameras, there's children screaming in the background. It's quite a relaxing Sunday drawing session. Welcome to it, everybody. Now let's get this basic shape going here of these arms. Now that one looks a little bit thinner than this one, but that's all right. Again, this is all just a sketching process just to get ourselves, some poses up as quickly as we can. You don't want to... because you're not necessarily going to send your client or whoever it is all of these unless they all turn out great. Then you're like, yeah, I'll send you all of them. You might just choose a couple. Once you've done your sketches, there's some that might sort of just speak to you on another level, and you go, oh, I love this, and you'll just ink the ones that you really are feeling and liking, and then ditch the others. Okay, so I always have to remind myself where my thumb is on which hand. So this is going to be another piece of bamboo coming out here. Let's just get this in here like so. And then I'll come out sort of back out here like so. And back out here like so. There we go. Like that. Let's just get some sort of toes marked in here. Like that. And then back there. So these will be his bamboo sticks that he uses to attack people. Don't forget we've got this bit around the belly here. Sort of belt / raw, whatever it is. In there. Great. So there's another pose. Got a relaxed pose. We've got a he's ready for action pose. So let's chuck that in up there. Like so. Let's do another one. Where are we at time-wise? 20 minutes? All right, let's see if we can... That's kind of a cool one. It's a very tricky one to try and do. Shall we have a go? All right, let's have a go. So it's a real great movement pose. Just seeing if there's any others before we jump onto that. I mean, I do like this one as well. It's sort of real ready for action. But we probably just need one raise. Maybe the back flip. You know what? No, come on. Let's do it. All right. I'm gonna regret this. Let's give ourselves some space here. Let's clear those out. And let's get going with this. So again, we'll start with the head. What I might do is, before I flesh out the face and everything, I'm going to just maybe get the body and everything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, I think, flip this around for now. It might be easier to sometimes easier to just change the angle. I find it easier just to flip things around a bit and do it from a different angle, because it can be a little bit daunting and confusing trying to draw a character sort of as this is upside down, and drawing it upside down, if you get what I mean. So instead we just flip it around so it's a bit of a different pose, and then it sort of doesn't feel as daunting. So let's try this way around, shall we? Like that, 1 foot there. Now the other thing is, I mean, obviously I would classify myself more as an animal artist with things like this, and I probably do that because, to be fair, they're a lot easier to deal with, because, as I said, when you're drawing people, you have to be reasonably anatomically correct, because, you know, people know about joints and stuff. Okay, this arm's gonna give me some trouble. I already can feel it. I feel it in my bones, deep within my bones. But again, the idea is just not to panic, and not to try and this looks a bit weird. Not to overwhelm yourself. Just take it one step at a time, and just feel it out. Let's just put that there for now. We'll probably change it. We'll do some flipping around in a second. I'm just going to do that for now. Let's flick it back around to the way it should be. Hold on a second. What's going on here? Now, other things that can happen when you decide to do it at a different angle, you can really muddle yourself up as to where. So that's that hand. There we go. That's the position we want, isn't it? There we go. That's it. All right. So let's now see what I've done here. Now I can fix this arm up, because this is at a better angle. So that's actually, I've got too much of a curve on that. So let's come out like that, and let's come straight down. We had too much of an angle on that. Let's flatten that out for now. I think that's too fat. His arm's too fat, but we'll deal with that in a second. Let's get this hand in like this. Okay, and he'll have an ear sort of here. Let's get his eyes in as well to help us with this. One there. That's going to be bigger. Nose is sort of in there. Let's get up maybe just a one-sided, off the side look. And this ear, because his face is sort of turned that way, this ear is going to be sort of around there. But hold on, I'm forgetting the headband too, so I need to get that in before I place that ear, because okay, maybe there for the ear, like so. Let's get eye-wise, like that. I think this arm is bothering me, because I think it's too fat and possibly too long as well. Definitely too long, actually. Now, instead of erasing that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the lasso tool, and we're going to bring that just closer in like that. And then I'll erase there and there, like so. Alright. Let's get a little bit of 3-dimension. Let's get a finger up there. And I'll do the same here. A finger up there and a finger up there. Let's get this. The belt thing will be in here. Like so. Bang, bang, bang. There we go. Oh, bamboo sticks. Now, that's where we're going to come into an issue with this particular angle for this character, for his bamboo sticks. Because if he was doing this little flip, his bamboo sticks would probably be hitting the ground, I'd say, wouldn't they? It'd be a bit of an awkward flip for this guy. Alright. Wonder if I can take crying out of the podcast, the video in post-production. Okay, let's just bring back all of our characters now and see where we are here. Let's go. All right, flip him around that way, like so. All right, I reckon that would be 3 pretty good poses to put together for your client to send out and say, there you go, there's your character. So you just need to ink them up and add your colouring and stuff, and then you've got 3 great poses there. So what we might do is, for time purposes, I'll ink up our original design, and then I might have to just speed do the rest, because you don't need to see me do all 3 of them, I don't think. So let's just ink this guy up. Let's go new layer, let's go black, let's go inking, dry ink brush. Okay, let's go. Alright, so the thing is, if you get someone who comes to you and says, oh, like I did recently, and that's why it gave me this idea for this particular video. A client came to me and said, I'm doing a story on X, and I just need, I've got this character and this character, can you do some drawings for me so I can see what they look like? I'm like, yep, absolutely. Obviously, and the first question I ask is, all right, I need the characteristics of your characters. So I need to know what their personalities are, what's the situation they're in, because you don't want them to say, say someone came to me with this panda character and just went, oh yeah, I've got this idea for a story about a little panda, and if you can just draw me up some ideas for little pandas. It's like, well, it doesn't give you a lot to go with, so you've got to ask lots of questions. And that's it. And that's, so then, because if they had an idea in mind of like a little heroic panda, and then you draw a little panda who looks scared and meek, they're going to go, oh, this is not what I want. And they're going to say thanks anyway. So make sure you ask lots of questions and get the characteristics of what they're looking for in their character. And then you can portray that in the artwork that you send them, so that when it comes through, they go, oh my God, that is the panda I'm looking for. I'm rushing this a bit because I'm conscious of not making this video too long. I already said it was going to be longer than normal. Don't forget, in the inking stage is when you're going to add your details. So let's just... I've gone back to using my dry ink brush. Anyone that follows my videos regularly will know I sort of flitch? I flitch between a few. I switch between a few. The dry ink and then I think it's studio pen or something like that. But I'm back to the dry ink at the moment, which is just the normal one that you get with if you're using Procreate. It's just the normal dry ink brush that is in Procreate. No settings have been changed. So, okay, let's marking. The only problem, as I say all the time with this drying brush, is it leaves holes. So when it comes time to colouring, and you try and do a bucket drop. English language is my struggle this afternoon. Every time you try and do a bucket drop, it leaks, and it's very frustrating. So I try and remember to go around and just fill the gaps as I'm going, so there's less to do. Okay, let's get this headband in. This isn't going to be perfect because, again, time. But I'll try and get something reasonably decent done. And then I'll quickly go through and we'll ink the rest. I'll probably speed that up. I know people don't like the old speeding up part, but I mean, I think if you see me ink one, I'm just going to do exactly the same thing with the other two, so you can see a finished character sheet. And if I do anything different, I will tell you what I've done. Or I'll stop the speed up and show you. Bamboo sticks, like so. This one down here, like so. Looks like there's going to be a hole there. Now remember, pandas have a certain little colour thing going on here where they've got black arms, white body, and a bit of black at the back. I just love their colouring on the old. Let's just finish this off. So he's got black legs. Alright, let's just quickly chuck in a bit of wall here. Like that. Nothing too fancy. Just pop that in there. Always hanging on to something. Okay, let's get some colour going on here. Oh god. Please, colour gods, don't bleed. Now I never go black, because let's go new layer. Let's go reference layer on that. Pray, everybody. No! Yes! If you do find it looks like that, just keep your pen hidden, hold your pen down, and slide it across, and see if, there we go, your threshold might just be a bit high, and you can get away with doing that. Save yourself having to try and find the leak. It's a bit lazy, but you know. Oh, no, that's going to be too big. Okay, so we have to find the gap here somewhere. There it is. Quite a big one, actually. Down here on this finger. So let's do that as well while we're here. Okay, hopefully now that should be fine. There you go. Let's do the legs. Let's do that part there, that part there. Ears on the pandas are black as well. So, oh, no, that's not going to work. Whoops. Let's go black. Let's go back to here. We need to completely block this off. That looks terrible. A little bit better. Alright, let's go back to this layer. Fill in that. Now, nose as well. Let's make the nose a little bit darker than the rest of it. Now, I'm not going to go wad. I'm going to go like a sort of off-white colour for the rest of his fur. Annoying. Again, we're going to drop the threshold down here and see if we can fix that. There we go. Perfect. Let's do that. Oh, that's leaked into there, but that's alright. We won't worry about that. We're just going to do that, and then we'll fill that colour in a second. Now, this white probably would come down. On the wrong layer, everybody. Would actually, you know what we can do? Instead of painstakingly do that, let's go back to this layer. And let's just, actually, maybe let's go from here. Do that. And then go back here. And fill in like that. And like that. There we go. That's better. That's better. Now for the eyes, we are going to go black for these because we'll chuck that in there. Now for his headband, you would think normally it would be naturally be red, but I would like something else other than red. Yeah, this is a nice colour. Let's chuck in a bit of turquoise. Make it pop. I could use recolor. Yes, so no need to put it in the comment section below. I know. Bamboo is like a yellowy greeny colour, so let's chuck that in there. These bamboo sticks. Oops, a daisy. I'm not going to bother trying to fill it. I'm just going to quickly do this. There we go. Like so. Now bamboo's also got like lines going through it. I'm going to change the studio pen for these lines. Subtle. It's probably a little bit too subtle, isn't it? There we go. Bamboo's got these sort of lines that come through it like that. So let's get those in. Bingo bango. I need white. I'm going to go a couple of light reflection dots in the eyes for a bit of life. And then we're going to go new layer. Where are we at time-wise? Oh, we are really over time. Let's go clipping mask. And let's quickly do some shadowing here. So new layer clipping mask. Like that. So, as I say in a lot of my videos, in fact probably every one of my videos where I do shadowing, please don't learn shadowing from me, because my shadowing is an abomination. One little trick you could possibly learn from me though is when you're doing animals is using the studio pen to help you, and the shadowing layer to help you, just add a bit more texture. That's the only thing I would say that probably is alright about my shadowing. Other than that, it's absolutely woeful. Okay, right. So here's our character. That's our first one. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go through the rest and ink the rest up. As I said, anything different happens, I'll stop and let you know. But in the interest of not having a video that goes for 7,000 hours, we will speed up the rest of this process.
Take us back to where we started, when my head wasn't such a mess and I wasn't broken. I wanna live those nights again, so my time getting wasted on you, get a little faded off you. Take us back to where we started. I tried to give you love, but you were giving up. Lately all we ever do is just fight and fuck. You got a hold on me, I can barely breathe. I like this better when we were enemies. I like this better when we were enemies. I like this better when we were enemies. I like this better when we were. Take us back to where we started, when I knew who I was and you knew what you wanted. Can't keep spending all my nights thinking about the summer wasted on you. Had a little taste of your views, take us back to where we started. I was so full of love, but then you fucked me up. You got a way of making me feel like I'm not enough. You got a hold on me, I can barely breathe. I like this better when we weren't enemies.
Now, this may, just quickly stopping there, this may have been an obvious thing, but make sure you bring back your original character with the original colours and use the same colours for your character, unless you want to show it in a different, sort of wearing different stuff or whatever. But I would say come back and just use your colour picker and get the same colour for the same areas, all right? It might be obvious, but I thought I'd just let you know. All right, back to our little ditty that's playing. I don't know what song I've chosen, but I hope you're enjoying it.
We don't like this better when we weren't enemies. We don't like this better when we weren't enemies. I like this better when we weren't enemies.
Now, I should probably tell you what's going on here. I've noticed that his body shape is probably not quite on par with the original. He's not quite tubby enough. So I'm just seeing if I can make a little adjustment to that to try and see if we can fix that just by giving a bit more of a little belly hanging down. So that's an error on my part. But yes, because at the moment this guy looks a little bit more athletic than our original guy we drew. So we'll just try and fix that with a little bit of belly hanging down, and then we will have to fix this line over here as well. It's not a major issue. I need that filled in. We just want to obviously catch that before we send it out, because obviously this is not going out, but if you were sending it out, and then I probably would have, instead of the belt up around there, I'd have the belt maybe hanging down around here so you can't quite see it because it's sort of hidden behind the belly. All right, just so you know what I'm doing. And you're like, why is this guy erasing everything? What has he done wrong? That's what I did wrong. Let's go back to the music.
Take us back to where we started, when my head wasn't such a mess and I wasn't broken. I wanna live those nights again, spend my time getting wasted on you, get a little faded off you. Take us back to where we started. I tried to give you love, but you were giving up. Lately all we ever do is just fight and fuck. You got a hold on me, I can barely breathe. I like this better when we weren't enemies. We don't like this better when we weren't enemies. Take us back to where we started. When I knew who I was and you knew what you wanted. Can't keep spending all my nights thinking about the summer wasted on you. Had a little change in your views. Take us back to where we started. I was so full of love, but then you fucked me up. You got a way of making me feel like I'm not enough. You got a hold on me, I can barely breathe. I like this better when we weren't enemies.
All right. I thought you could rejoin me for this last little bit of this guy that we're doing. I hadn't spoken for a while, and I was feeling lonely, and I was actually talking to myself for a while. I was like, oh, hold on a second. You could talk into the microphone. So we're getting there. We're almost at the point where we've got full 3 quick characters. Where are we at so far? I've been going now for 1 hour and 5 minutes in total for this video. Obviously, the end video will not be that long, because don't think anyone wants to sit through 1 hour's worth of video. If you do, say in the comments below, say, what are you doing, you fool? We wanted to see that full thing in the hour-long glory. And maybe we can do another one of these if it's enjoyed by people. But we'll see how we go. I do look at the YouTube analytics of how long people watch for. They're definitely not watching for 1 hour. So it does make you think whether you should be bothering with hour-long videos. But anyway, let's just finish. The noise in my house has just gone next level. When I'm not around, chaos ensues. What's happening there? There's quite a big amount of... There we go. Alright, so we got the face. Let's chuck that in there. We do still have to do the shadowing on this guy. That's done. That's not filled in there. Okay, we can get rid of this little dude for now, and let's just finish with... Oh, hold on. I need to bring one of them back, because I need this colour here for my bamboo. Okay, we're still there, so let's just chuck these in. Bamboo lands. Character design is great. I love it. Because it's kind of, unless your client is like, really, this is exactly what I want, do not deviate. I mean, most of the time I find that they're like, they give you the characteristics and they're just like, as long as it's got this or that, please just give me a few ideas. And I generally, as I said, it's not the first character that I go, oh, that's perfect. I mean, for the purposes of this video, it was just lucky that I kind of liked what I'd already drawn. But I would probably spend a bit of time on doing a few different designs and seeing which I liked the best. But I think if anyone was looking for a young little fat panda character for something, then I would be quite happy to send to them this and say, what do you reckon? Is this young and fat enough for you? I haven't put clipping mask on there, so we're coming out of the lines. But yeah, so just, I would say, get as much, although you do get, sometimes you get clients who are like, I don't really, I don't mind, you just go nuts, dude, what do you think? And you're like, okay, are you sure? There's definitely nothing you want. And they're like, no, just, I'd love to see what you come up with. And then you finish drawing it and they're like, oh, actually, I wanted to make sure that it was wearing a bowler hat. And you're like, okay, thank you. No worries. But that's my own fault as well for not asking enough details, because, you will get clients that be like, just give us what your interpretation, blah, blah, blah. But you need to make sure you're insistent that, hey, that's really great, and I will put my own flair into it, but I really need some details on how you see it looking, and what you want to see from your character. For instance, is there any clothing that your characters should be wearing? Is there any particular situation that your character is going to find themselves in? That sort of thing, so that you don't go about drawing for ages and then you send them something and they want, these ridiculous changes. The other way to avoid all those changes and your client, not giving you enough information, is to charge them for changes. You'll soon find that they'll give you lots of detail and the changes will dry up. That's what I usually do. I usually say, well, look, this is the cost of coming up with a character design for you. Let's give me as many details as you can and I will come up with your character. If there are any changes once the character's done, anything on there that you haven't already specified. Obviously, if you say you want a character with a bowler hat and I send you something and it doesn't have a bowler hat, that's on me for not listening. But if you haven't said your character needs a bowler hat and then all of a sudden I do you a design and you come back and say the character needs a bowler hat, I'm going to say that's all right, no worries, I can do a bowler hat for you. It's going to cost you extra because it's going to take me some time now to completely change the design so the bloody thing's wearing a bowler hat. So make sure you have a bowler hat fee charge. All right, I'm really like the inking on this the shadowing on this is really now being very lazy because we're coming to the end of this, and I might have a play around with this later, but for now, this is I'm gonna call this done on our character design here. So let's just group these all together. Ding ding group. Get all that. Let's hide our sketch layer. Let's bring back all our characters. Oh, not that. Let's bring that. Get rid of that, bring that back. Okay, and then we simply just arrange them on the page like so. Only thing I might add is under this guy and the one other guy is a little shadow underneath. That actually would be angled that way, like so. Make that a reference layer. Drop that in there. Let's drop the opacity down. So we've got a shadow layer under there, and then under this guy, let's chuck in a shadow like that, so show that, make that the reference layer, boom, and then that guy's hanging from the wall, so I mean you could, if you want, we could put just a little shadow, maybe, like that. Oops, didn't want to do that. Reference layer, drop that in there. Let's pull that shadow down like that, and there you go. Tidy them up a bit, make them look a little bit fancier. But there you have your character, 3 different poses to send to your client and say, here you go, how's about it? What do you reckon? Give me some cash.
There you have it. I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe give it a like and consider subscribing. If there is any questions you've got or any videos you would like to see me do, there is a comment section below reserved for abuse or requests. So go for it.